they throw them from down here. And when it came to sparring, they did something called point sparring, which means you weren't actually allowed to hit the guy in the head. You could get close, but you weren't allowed to hit him. That's not a good way to train. Because the kickboxer, he didn't know this. And he was actually hitting me. And it hurt. So if anybody here is thinking of getting into anything, train the way you fight the way that you train, and make sure there's some contact. So having the last name Khan, you can have a lot of fun with it, right? I hear it all the time. When the Sky Dome was being made, a friend of mine entered my last name. He said it should be the Con Dome. That would have been good. I hear it all: convict, con artist, ha ha ha. But it turns out a family member of ours actually just got diagnosed with leprosy. So he's a leprechaun. And unfortunately, each time we see him, we're seeing less and less of him. So you hear women, they're always talking about how painful childbirth is. I'm sure it is, but there's like 8 billion people on the planet. It can't be that bad, is it? I mean, have you ever snorted? That hurts. And if you don't know what a snort is, it's when you sneeze and fart at the same time. That is painful. It hurts. And then it had me thinking, we need to start using the snort, maybe for childbirth. Throw a little pepper out there, get her to sneeze, boom, out it comes. All the doctor's gonna need is a catcher's mitt. Easy. So I was talking to one of my neighbors the other day, and he told me he was really getting worried that he thought his son might turn out to be gay. I'm like, well, that's okay. He goes, I don't want to take any chances, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna board up all my closets. There's nothing wrong with being gay. So I don't have a lot of money, so I'm never going to have an exotic car like a Lamborghini or Ferrari. They say women really love expensive cars. I'm like, well, it's never going to happen for me. So what I've decided is I'm going to make an erotic car. Vibrating seats, little Barry White coming over the stereo. So she's happy, I'm happy, and it's cheap. So, you ever been driving on the road? And some people just can't drive. There's some shitty drivers out there, and you're getting pissed off. I'm thinking, I wish I just had a giant boxing glove or something on the front of my car that would just fucking smash them out of the way. I'm thinking, you know what would be even better? They got this show, it's called BattleBots. It's when they got these 2 remote control cars, and it might have like a saw or a flipper or a flamethrower. I'm like, that's the car I need, right there. If someone's getting in your way, you just fucking drive over, flip them, smash them, light them on fire. Never mind the exotic to the erotic. That's the kind of car I wanted. So I had an idea for a dating app. Anybody ever heard of Tinder?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to put your picture up there, right? So I think all these sites, basically it's going to be good-looking people finding good-looking people. Well, how do you get someone that looks like me, some ugly fucker, hooked up with somebody that looks good? So this is what I figure. We're going to call it Tinder Surprise. You don't know what you're going to get, but you're going to get one ugly guy and one good-looking girl. Win-win. So So a friend of mine had a bachelor party there the other week. So I figured I was going to give him this new drink I heard of. So what it was a shot of vodka, a roofie, and 3 Viagras. That's right. So we down that, he passes out, and the Viagra is going to take hold. And then what you do is you drop them off at a gay bar, and you put a t-shirt on them that says free rides. So we call this drink the 50 Shades of Brown. And I'm also thinking, in today's day and age, we need to start merging things. You know, everybody's looking for that new fitness craze. I'm thinking, you know what I'm going to start? Not only is it going to be fitness, but I want to try and add a little something to it. So I'm going to hire people to help me move stuff. And I'm going to have people hire me to move them. We're just going to call it mover size. So I'm getting paid twice. Anybody here a firefighter, know a firefighter? Well, here's a little thing they don't tell you, is that 90% of the calls that these firefighters get aren't for fires. It's usually some horny guy or girl pretending like they've fallen in the tub, just trying to get these hot firefighters to come over and help them out. That's something they're not going to tell you. Sorry.
You got the punchline.
No, that was it. So, I always have arguments with my daughter. I mean, times change, right? There's just, words that we used that you're not supposed to use, right? We used to say retarded a lot, or the word faggot. You can't say that stuff anymore. But I look back and I'm like, my grandmother said things and you didn't correct her. You just knew that old school people talked a certain way. Like for instance, when my wife and I got married, we had a black guy at our wedding. We didn't think nothing of it. My grandmother thought something of it. She says, oh man, you guys had the best wedding. It was amazing. She's like, but I don't understand. Which one of you two invited the N-word? And I'm thinking, it was Trish, of course. Now this joke would work a lot better if I could actually use the N-word. So I'm thinking, what we need to start doing is there needs to be like a site where you can like buy a permit or like a punch card. Right? So if you want to drop that word, it's going to like the United Negro College Fund, or maybe it's going to Gay Pride. They're getting paid, and you're getting to drop the word. Just a suggestion. So I don't know if everybody here just loves their job. Most people don't. This probably isn't going to be my job either after today. There is a benefit to hating your job. It's because the days seem like they last forever. When you're having fun, time flies. So if you got a job that you just love, time goes by like that. Not me. Time feels like I feel like I'm fucking 200. But I gotta say, with my kids that they're teenagers now, I'm actually starting to look forward to going to work. So no matter how bad your job is, when your kids hit teens, it ain't that bad. Or here's a little something I like to do. I don't know what you do in your job, but what I like to do is when I'm working, is I just pretend that everything I'm doing are dance moves. So I just make it like when I'm working, I'm just getting ready for a dance competition. If you're a cook, you could just flip the eggs, put the fryer down. What do you do, Del?
I clean houses.
There you go. Now when you're cleaning houses, just pretend like you're dancing. So one of the benefits at work, I'd say, is shitting. Shitting at work. You know why? You're getting paid for it. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm a professional shitter. But you need to watch how long you're in there, right? Because, guys are paying attention. And with smartphones now, you might be in there for a while. So you can typically tell how long a guy's been in there, but kind of how they act. If somebody's only been in there 5 minutes, they just kind of walk out and go, that was good shit. They've been in there for maybe 10 minutes, they're walking out and they're like, oh, wow, don't go in there, that was bad. And if you're in there like 15 minutes or longer, they're walking out like they just got jumped. They're like, oh my God, whatever you do, don't go in there, it's awful. You were shooting for 1 minute and you were probably watching videos for 20 minutes. But it's all how you play it out. I don't know if anybody here has a dog or a pet. We have a little Havanese. And this dog, I love her, but she is the worst cock block I think ever. She doesn't like our kids. So she's not around our kids. She won't go with our kids. She won't go for a walk. If Trish and I are home, she has to be with us. If we close the bedroom door, she's barking and she's scratching at the door. If we open the door, she's got to be on the bed. This dog will not leave us alone. If I want to have sex, Trish and I actually have to go get a motel room and get out of the house. And our dog is smart, but not as smart as she thinks. She loves treats. And what she's actually done, and she got me with it, she came out and she was like limping with her one paw up in the air. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I think she broke her paw. We're going to have to take her to the vet. So she's limping around. I tell Trish, and then she comes down, and now she's still limping, but she's using the other arm. And I'm like, it was her leg paw before, and now I'm like, she's smart, but not smart enough to just do it with the one paw. But she will do anything for treats. Now another pet, and this is a pet I don't understand. The guy at work has a parrot. Who the hell wants a parrot? Do you really need something else talking back to you? I thought the whole point of the pet was unconditional love. And, parrots, they're all fine and good. You're going to teach them, pretty bird, or they're going to whistle. But we all know eventually that some kids are going to get a hold of this parrot, and what are they going to teach them? Fuck you. Fuck off. You're a loser. You're never going to amount to anything. Sorry, those last two were actually my mother talking to me as a teenager. I'm thinking the other day, you guys have those dogs in your neighborhood and they just won't shut up. They're just yapping all the time. I'm thinking, can animals get Tourette's? Yeah. Maybe he can't help it, and maybe we're being unsensitive. And then another animal, this one I don't get, is Canada geese. The other day, I'm driving home, and this row of Canada geese, they're walking across in front of me. I'm like, I know you fuckers can fly. I've seen you up in the air, forming that perfect V. I know you can fly. I'm thinking, what the fuck you, and they're not even looking, they're just, but the one goose, he just kind of looked at me, and he had this look in his eye, like he had seen some things. And where do these geese fly to? You know where they go? They go to Florida. You ever see the headlines from Florida? You know how fucked up those people are? So I can just imagine this goose thinking, listen buddy, the last time I flew, I went to Florida and back. I'm never flying again, asshole. Go ahead and hit me, but I ain't fucking flying. I want Betty.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah. Wait for her.
I'm thinking to myself, there's one insect in particular, and I'm thinking, this I don't get, is the praying mantis. So you know that the female praying mantis will fuck her mate and then rip his head off, right? I'm like, how powerful are the pheromones those things are putting off, where you still can't help yourself to have sex, even though you know you're going to get head ripped off. And don't these insects, when they're younger, have questions like, where's Papa? How come I don't have any uncles? What happened to my older brother? I'm going to tell you, there's one profession out there, and I don't think we're using this profession to its fullest capability, and it's strippers and escorts. You ever hear somebody, they're on their deathbed, they're in, they're dying, unfortunately, and then you hear people say, well, they just gave up, they had nothing to live for. I'm thinking, if you bring them in an escort or a stripper every day, you might give them something to live for, and they might actually last a little longer. And I'm also thinking, hostage negotiations. Why don't we send in a bunch of strippers into the hostage negotiations? They come in, they give the guy a lap dance, get him all turned on, and then they get up and say, well, if you want another lap dance, you're going to have to release one of the hostages. I guarantee they'll have all the hostages out there in no time. So it's going to be my last bit. I have a bad memory. I was actually talking to my friend Jason Stortini back here, and he's not listening. And he was telling me a story when him and I were in high school. We actually got into a little bit of a scuffle, and he asked me if I remembered that they pointed our desks at each other and made us look at each other all day. I don't remember that at all. I have a bad memory. The only reason I named my son after me is so I wouldn't forget his name. Now, I love movies and television, and I can recite things off of movies and television, but certain things, like my children being born, I can't remember. So what I like to recite to you is it's my favorite quote from a movie. It's Ezekiel 25:17. It's from Pulp Fiction. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger for those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is Dan Kahn when I lay my comedy upon thee. Thanks, guys. So, one last thing. I know that's a lot of material you had to sit through, and thank you, I appreciate it. And I know delivery sucked, some of the content was a little, but what I'm going to ask you guys, if you guys could please, whether it's on Facebook or Messenger, I just would like you guys to tell me maybe what your favorite jokes were, because I do intend on trying to do some, stand-up nights at Yuck Yucks and that, and you only need to do like 5 minutes. I'm not going to do an hour. So if I could just have everybody tell me, what they thought the best jokes were, and then I'm going to use those jokes, and then hopefully that's what I'm going to use for my next hour. Thanks, guys.